My name's Berni. I'm a full-time carer for my adult son. I can use the computer when it comes to doing certain lists and things and other stuff. The most frustrating thing is when you get onto or you're told to use a website, it will time out or it won't interface correctly with our voice activation, which is Dragon. And then you have to ring someone and explain why about 4 times that you're using voice activation, and then they tell you to press 3 keys at once. And you go, but I've just told you I've got no arms and I'm holding the phone in my shoulder and trying to follow your instructions with my feet. So the whole thing just becomes frustrating, and it's not the fault of the person on the end of the phone. It's difficult to understand the situation until you actually see it. You just can't access things that an able-bodied person would do quite easily. And the expectation of social inclusion is that you can just do exactly the same. And when you're going, well, no, I can't because your system doesn't work for us. A MyGov account will be essential to have when NDIS rolls out. So I went to Field Services because I knew that he could handle all of this and sit down with me and explain what we were doing and when we were doing it. And he knew the documents that I needed to get started. So it managed to remove all of the frustration and all of the fact that it actually drives me crazy trying to use MyGov. So yeah, and it was better. It was all set up. The fees are absolutely brilliant. He's professional, he's courteous, he's empathetic. And most importantly, when you don't drive, he comes to your home and sits down and explains things very clearly as what we're doing. So that's why I use Phil, and I would recommend him to anybody. If it continues on, well, we'd wait for NDIA to roll out and see what we're going to need, but we're going to need someone who can, well, instead of going to a planner, we may be able to use Phil to help us access the portal and key in receipts and go back to individualised funding, which we use now, which suits our purposes better, because NDIA portal, once more, doesn't work with voice activation. So there would be that. There's lots of internet stuff I don't do. I don't internet bank and stuff. So if I had an issue with the internet and setting up a process, I'd call Phil and say, can you show me how to do it? And if necessary, if it's something like a continual thing, then I would employ Phil to help me with it. The other important thing is I don't have time to sit down and try and figure it all out when I'm running a schedule for a young disabled adult. It's like I can't put aside 3 hours to be on a computer. Whereas by hiring MyDigitalConcierge, it takes like 30 minutes and it's done. So that's brilliant.